Bedros Keuilian, and that there is Leighton, and we are doing a YouTube live. I don't know what camera to look at, so I'm going to look at both, but then I'm going to just look at you, Leighton, while we do this.
What's going on?
What's up, man? How you been?
I'm good, man. Everything is great. How you feeling?
I'm feeling, you know what's funny? Between the torn tricep that took place on May 20th and my mom's death about 3.5 weeks ago, I was just in a little funk. I'm sure you guys could tell around here, but that was expected. But I stayed the course. I do what I do, just eat right, sleep, work out, deliver value, do my podcast, do the coaching, and it paid off, man. You stay the course, and then you get out of your funk. 1.0 version of me, when some kind of a disaster would happen in my life, I would just like start feeling sorry for myself. I would break all of the good patterns that I have, and then I'd go deeper into the darkness for months at a time. So proof that when you just do what you're supposed to do, you will eventually catapult out of your shit. Right. You went to Disneyland with your daughter day before yesterday.
Yep.
Right? How was that?
It was a lot of fun, man. It was cool because you get to see the magic through their eyes. You know, you grew up going somewhere, and it has a lot of, holds a certain place in your heart. Then you take your kids, and then they get to experience that for the first time. It's really cool to see the excitement, and even, I was talking to Lauren and Shelby about it before, even the fear, like the things that we think are funny now, they're like scared of certain characters, and the whole experience, man. It was a lot of fun. It was a good time. That was their first time awesome. Going, and it won't be the last, but it was a good time for sure.
How long were you guys there?
We got there like 9:15, and then left at like 7. So we were there,
Oh my God, bro.
We lasted a lot longer than I thought, actually.
You know what? I'm not kidding you when I say, like, these are the memories that matter, not only for you, but also for her. It's just time invested, man.
Exactly.
Time invested. Good for you.
Exactly. Cool, man. So
that's $100,000 for a year of coaching with me. And I get it. It's $100,000. That's 1/10 of $1 million. And people are like, well, I don't have that kind of money to pay you so that I could get into your coaching program. And then the half day, just one half day session with me is $25,000, which, we do that for people. And if you're already rocking and rolling in your business and you're like, look, I want B to spend half a day with me and kind of just deconstruct my business and tell me how I can add a few more million, that half day is perfect. They don't need the domination year for $100,000. And then we have our December 9th. So I wanted to create two, lower tiered programs for people who are like, look, man, I can't afford $25,000 or $100,000 to coach with you, but maybe I can afford $5,000 for December 9th. And we'll talk about that in a moment. But the Legacy Tribe, and Legacy Tribe is in the house. We've got almost 300 members in there, and it's $249 a month. And it's 4 Zoom coaching sessions a month, every Wednesday, and a private community on Facebook, 2 live meetups a year in person, one at my ranch in March, and then one next September, BK Live. So all the Legacy Tribe members get to come to BK Live for free next year. And by the way, the Legacy Tribe, if everyone wondering right now, is not open. So we open it up 4 times a year for you guys to sign up and get into it. It opens up, I believe, October 31st. So it's coming up. In another week, it'll open up. October 31st, it'll stay open for a week. So October 31st into like the first week of November. But it's basically me and then Jason Redman, retired Navy SEAL, Purple Heart recipient, New York Times bestseller, an amazing leader and entrepreneur. He's one of the coaches. And then Bryce Henson, the CEO of Fit Body Bootcamp and my right-hand man in business. The 3 of us are coaching everyone in the Legacy Tribe every Wednesday live via Zoom. We have a teaching block, and then we go right into Q&As, which means we get to help everyone that's got a variety of types of businesses. $249 a month. Live access to us 4 times a month. 2 live meetups a year. The community on Facebook, private groups, and then, of course, the vault of education vault that we created, right? And so that vault we keep adding to. So when the Legacy Tribe opens up, if you're like, hey, I wanna get some level of coaching from Bedros, that's the one. That's the one to do. It's like $9 or $8.50 a day. Like that's your Starbucks trip. But that's what Legacy Tribe is. And then people go, well, what if I can't even afford that? Well, that's why I've got Instagram and YouTube. I literally coach you guys up for free here. You might have to piece the puzzle together sometimes because I don't know specifically what your life's problem is, business problem is, whatever. But like, you know, we got a team of 5 in here. Like the production is not half-assed, and we produce great content and we put it out there on the YouTubes, the podcast platforms, and Instagram for free. And so there's your free content as well.
Awesome, man. Awesome. So before I start reading some of these chats, man, I'm just curious. This is my personal question. I'm sorry you guys got to wait just a second. I have a personal question for him real quick.
Because you and I never have enough time to talk.
Yeah, we don't talk enough. We don't talk enough. I want to ask you, man, what do you think about this Will and Jada situation?
Dude, she's on a tour right now to crush him.
She's going crazy, man.
Yeah. Can I tell you something? I think the world has gotten way too much of both of them, to be honest with you. The moment Will Smith slapped Chris Rock, it was over for me. Like, I respected the dude until he acted like a bitch. Yeah. And that's a bitch move. Like, you have an issue with Chris Rock, which, by the way, you let your wife publicly have a podcast and talk about all the ways she's like banging your son's friends and all that shit, and that's okay. Chris Rock does what Chris Rock does. He's a comedian, and you get up there and publicly slap him. You got an issue? Handle it like a man afterwards by approaching him. He showed emotional immaturity and immediately lost respect with me and millions of others. And then she's just a mess, bro. Like, the last time she did anything decent, any decent role was in The Matrix, maybe. Maybe in The Matrix. That was it. Like, she's done. She's retired. Take your bald head out of here. Get out. Go. And I'm going to tell you something. I even have friends who are interviewing her right now because, she's a celebrity and she's willing to go on podcasts. Bro, fellas, friends of mine, you know who you are. Don't interview this bitch and give her a platform, please. Thank you. And so that's what I think about her.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Does your opinion change at all after, I don't know if you even heard this or not, but like last week sometime she's promoting her new book. She said that her and Will haven't been married since 2016. So she says, I don't really know why he went up there and slapped them because it was like weird. I was like, I haven't heard you call me your wife in years. And so I was just curious, does your opinion change?
No, my opinion doesn't change because she disrespected him publicly, and it doesn't matter pre-marriage, post-marriage. She publicly disrespected him. He allowed himself to be a bitch and get publicly disrespected, and he thought he'd be all modern and cool with it, and he wasn't, because no man is. It doesn't matter how well, I'm a modern, sophisticated man. I'm a Renaissance man. Bro, let me tell you, just like the dudes who are like, oh yeah, I'm in an open marriage, I'm in an open relationship, my chick can go out and bang other chicks or other guys because I can go out and bang other chicks. That's only going to happen until you lose your shit and you want to kill her or kill him. And so the truth is, he disrespected her, she disrespected him, and it brewed for so many years that like a volcano, boosh, it came out on live TV on the Oscars.
It's insane, man. It's insane. So I got somebody in here. I just saw it. It's up a little bit, but they asked how your tricep feeling, man. How's your arm feeling?
Yeah, man. Thanks for asking, guys. So I'm a lefty, and my left tricep here, it's a tricep, so 3 muscles, and I have a 1-sept on my left arm. True story. It's my long head is still attached, but the short head of the tricep has detached and has retracted 32 millimeters, which means here's a cool thing about the body. The body works like this: next man up, right? Because like when I had torn my bicep, it completely detached and rolled up into my shoulder. Within about a week, I was able to bring my hand up again because next man up, the next muscle that starts kicking in to use that function. So thankfully, I still have part of my tricep intact. Me and my orthopedic surgeon decided that we're going to give it a year to see because I'm different than the average cat. I'm in tune with my body. I've worked out for 30 years. There is still a tendon attached, the long head of the tendon, the short head's detached. I'm 80% of my strength back. Next week, I start jujitsu again. Ed, by the way, thank you so much for introducing me to Coach Mike, Professor Mike. We start next week, no gi. I also said I'm going to do no pants to make it extra interesting for him. So just a rash guard, no pants, and a torn tricep. And we're going to work around it, he said, and it's going to be great, man. But I appreciate everyone asking. It's getting stronger. I'm 80% there. And after a year, if I don't feel 100%, I'm going to go under the knife and get the surgery.
Got it. Yeah. Got it, man. So I'm trying to find this. Okay, so Dakota Wimberly says, Bedros, need your opinion. I owned a remodeling company for 3 years, built it from $174 to the last year, making 1.4. Doesn't include overhead. And we took 2 massive hits that closed the doors.
Oof.
I'm not sure what the question is, but kind of, I guess, giving you an idea of what Dakota's going through and maybe how to move forward.
I think here's the rest of it. I just see it.
Was it?
I took a break and went back to work on someone else's and started the company back up and have Contracted $86,000 this month while still working. The economy scares me to dedicate after the last loss. Look, the economy is what you make it. The global economy is failing right now. The national economy in the United States is failing. But Leighton, how's your personal economy doing? Better than ever.
Yeah.
Mine is doing better than ever. Most of the people in this, actually all the people in here, they're doing better than ever. I know it because we get to decide how much value we want to add, how sophisticated of problems we want to solve in exchange for lots of money. So on a personal level, there's people who become millionaires and billionaires during bad economy times. There's industries that blow up, like Fit Body Bootcamp didn't do so well during the pandemic, but Trulian Supplements blew up, man. The wellness shot was created as a response to the pandemic, right? Like we created this thing and now it's become our flagship product. So I share that with you because this person needs to have faith in themselves, not faith in the economy. Don't worry about the confidence in the government. If you have confidence in yourself, you have faith in a team and in a product that you've built, go out there and fully attack that dream.
Awesome, man.
By the way, guys, when you guys are leaving us super comments here, in other words, is that what it's called? Super comments, super chats?
Super chats,
What
yeah.
the fuck it's called. When you leave us a super chat, for whatever dollars you donate, we're going to double that dollar amount at the end of the show, like we do every time we do a live, and we donate that to Shriners Children's Hospital, which is 22 hospitals that provide medical surgeries and procedures for kids whose families can't afford to pay for those surgeries. I've been donating millions to them over the last 12 years. And so we're going to double the money of your super chats and donate that monies. So be generous with your money, guys and gals.
We appreciate you guys. Chris Figueroa asked, how do I deal with the relationship with my parents and siblings if they completely shut down my dreams and goals? I struggle with this.
That's actually a really good question. So I'm going to tell Chris here that he needs to do what Kevin Downing told me to do. Kevin is my therapist, and 10 years ago, I was like, dude, I have all these big live events, and I give away a Land Rover at every event. I get excited, and I tell my mom and dad about it, and then they're like, uh-oh, how are you going to sell the tickets for 1,500 people? How are you going to be able to afford that Land Rover? How are you going to be able to do this? And it feels like that they're shitting on my dreams and hopes, and they're doubting me. And so I was like, Kevin, then I end up leaving their house all angry and frustrated. He goes, well, you can't eliminate that relationship. It's your mom and dad. It's family. He goes, but you can edit that relationship. And he says, what are some other stuff they're interested in? I'm like, oh, they have these chihuahuas. They love their chihuahuas. My dad has a beautiful vegetable garden in the backyard. My mom has a beautiful flower garden in the front yard. He goes, good. Edit the relationship and talk to them about the stuff that they care about, the stuff that they're comfortable about, and then don't share your dreams, hopes, and ambitions with them because their minds are just slightly too small and they see it as risk and they're looking out for their baby boy, right? And so that's what Chris needs to understand is these people are, in their mind's eye, they're looking out for us. In reality, for us, it feels like they're doubting us, they're shitting on us, they're hating on our dreams and goals. And so if you edit that relationship, you're golden, you're good to go.
Awesome. Wendy Fisher says, where'd it go? Let's go back up. By the way, Dakota Wembley says, thank you, brother. I have a newborn, so it has me hesitating on myself to take full leaps when I've lost once before. So I get it. It's tough out there.
Yeah.
Wendy Fisher asks, she says, we always hear that doing the hard things ultimately gives us freedom. We have also heard what we focus on grows. So logically, if we focus on hard all the time, isn't life just constantly hard?
No, I think they misunderstood when we say hard, or when Jocko says hard, when Goggins says hard, when Jordan Peterson and Joe Rogan and I say do hard things. We mean manufacture hard events for yourself. Like, for example, if you're going to go to the airport, park at the farthest parking slot and walk like you're doing something hard over easy, looking, driving around looking for that close spot. Take the stairs instead of the escalator. Do hard workouts, longer workouts on weekends, like what I do on Sundays. I dedicate Sundays to leg day, or I dedicate leg days to Sundays because I have 2 hours that I can train legs, just punish myself intentionally very hard, get to that point where I'm so out of breath, where I'm so exhausted, where I have that metallic taste in my mouth, where my body's just like trying to reject the workout. Then afterwards, I'll go to Nectar and have a little smoothie, just get enough calories in to go do the eucalyptus loop, a 3-mile hike with 6 hills, right? There and back. And so these are, when you do manufactured hard stuff, an ice bath every morning or every night, that doesn't mean you're going to focus on hard, bad things like, oh my God, there's a war between Palestine and Israel right now. There's, we're sending more money to them. We're sending more money to Ukraine. The U.S. border is open. Our country's under hard times right now. If you start thinking like that, going down the rabbit hole of hard things that you can't control, you will start attracting more negative hard things. But doing hard, intentional stuff, challenging stuff that taxes your body, taxes your mind intentionally so that you can really showcase more emotional maturity, emotional discipline, resilience, that is good for you, because then the normal hardships of life, when they come, and those are inevitable, by the way, you have no choice, they're going to come. When they come, you're just going to be like, oh, this was easy. And that's because you constantly do hard stuff on purpose, so you've conditioned yourself when a hard thing happens to you, it's easy. I do believe my torn tricep and the death of my mom 3 weeks ago, I was able to handle it well and catapult through it just fine. Coming out of this whole thing leaner and stronger, simply because I've done hard things for so long intentionally that when a hard situation happened where I tore my tricep and then a couple of months later my mom dies, and those of you that have lost a parent, like, the pain that I'm talking about. Like, this is your mom. She's your connection to this world. And all of a sudden you feel like, I'm up next. Like, this is it. She brought me here. And in my case, we came to the United States, and me and my mom were best friends, right? Like, my mom and my dad and my older brother, sister, they're working, trying to make ends meet. And me and my mom are trying to figure out how to use the food stamps at grocery stores. So it was just constant adventures with me and my mom when I was a kid. And so to lose her and to also have a torn tricep and not to be able to work out like I want, roll, box, all the things that are good for me mentally and physically. But because I've got structure, I've done so many hard things in my life on purpose. I literally schedule hard events in my life. And therefore, I was able to, when these inevitable hardships came, I was able to bounce out of it. Yeah. Took a few months, but I was able to bounce out of it.
It's tough, man. And just to kind of touch on your post that you made this morning was super, obviously well thought out, well written as always, but you could tell that it affected a lot of people in a positive way, because the comments like, man, this came right on time. I needed this. I'm going through something similar to this right now. And everything that you said right now, as far as preparing yourself for these moments by choosing to kind of manufacture adversity, is what's going to help get you through there.
Dude, because look, everybody at any given time is going through some level of hardship. It may register as a 2 on the Richter scale or a 10, right? But we're all going through some level of hardship. I think it's Joseph Campbell who wrote The Power of Myth that says all of life is suffering with brief moments of bliss and happiness, which is true. Like, every day you have to get up and figure out, what do I eat? You got to get in a metal box and go at high speeds to get to work. There's a inherent risk there. War could break out any minute. 1 minute there was a concert in Israel. Next minute, fucking homies are parachuting in and shooting women and children at the concert in communities. Like, all of life is suffering with brief moments of bliss and happiness. And so knowing that, if all of life is suffering, and that's not a bad thing, by the way, suffer intentionally so that you you callous those resiliency muscles, you strengthen them.
Here we go. And speaking of hardship, I kind of want to pivot just real quick before I get into these next chats. What are your thoughts on everything going on, with Israel and Palestine and everything? And the reason I ask is because there's so many chats coming through, and I keep seeing glimpses of people, kind of wanting to get your opinion. And then afterwards, I have a part 2 to that. But what's your thoughts on what you can do about it? What can we, that kind of thing?
Well, look, this is something that's been going on. Like, if we study the history of this, it's been something that's really started to flare up back in, I think, 1948 or 58, right around there. It started to flare up as Israel wanted to plant their flag and started taking, sections of that land. And the Palestinians who lived there felt like, hey, man, you're carving into our land. Can we live together? Now, Israel was like, hey, this is originally our land and we're taking it back. And over those years, they took little chunks and little chunks more. Therefore, they began to battle. Now, imagine like that Gaza Strip. Like, imagine if between Chino and Chino Hills, there's this big gated fence and a wall, and there's guards on it, and you and I can't go into Chino. We live in Chino Hills. We can't go into Chino. Like, you feel like you're trapped. Yes, I'm free, but I'm also trapped. But I also understand the Israelis, like, they want a safe place to live. And but the Palestinians want a safe place to live. But that land has been battled over for so long. And it's like, biblically, well, it belongs to us. Yeah, but we were actually living here. And so, like, can we live together? But then there's Hamas, which is really act as a terrorist organization. There's no other way to say it. They, they might call themselves freedom fighters. But at the end of the day, they are acting as a terrorist organization the moment they start taking hostages of women and children and taking the lives of innocent women and children and elderly people. Bro, you want to attack Israel? Go to their embassy, go to their police departments, attack their military, attack their missile silos, wage war on them, right? But to the moment you attack innocent civilians, just like on September 11th, 2001, when those motherfuckers got on those planes and they slammed those planes into the World Trade Centers, killing 3,000 innocent people. They were just going to work on a random morning. That's immediately you're a terrorist now and not a freedom fighter. You may have had a good point up to that point.
Right.
Now you don't. You're dead to me. And so I don't blame Israel fighting back simply because of how Hamas, who, like it or not, represents Palestine, carried this thing out.
Yeah. The part two to that is, I kind of want to get your thoughts on the people that say, like, well, why don't you post about these things? When things are going on, like, for example, like when something's happening in Armenia, your DMs are filled with all this stuff. And so people think that posting is going to be, it's going to make massive waves, big changes, whatever. And you and I had a moment maybe like a year or so ago when we both connected on the fact that, people were upset with me when I didn't post a stupid black square in 2020. I'm like, but I'm not posting the black square. It's not going to do anything. What are you actually doing? And I don't need to explain myself to them, but you and I talked about the things we do behind the scenes, actually trying to help. So, what are your thoughts on feeling like you need to post, or the people that feel like they need to post?
Yeah. You know what? It's funny you say that. Up until last year when you and I talked about it, and I know you and I have known each other for years, but up until last year when you and I talked about it, I didn't know that you didn't post that black square in 2020, which was the Black Lives Matter thing, right? Which incidentally now supports Hamas, a terrorist organization. And in 2020, when everyone was posting the black squares, I went on a rant and I was like, all of you motherfuckers that are posting these black squares, especially those of you that are not black, I challenge you to also, throughout the rest of the year, come out in defense of minorities, Mexicans, Asians, blacks, women, anyone that's a minority, and come out in their defense throughout the year. They were social signaling. Majority of the people with the black squares were social signaling, and fuck them. And that's the beef that I had with them, number one. Number two, it was my understanding early on that Black Lives Matter was funneling the money into their own bank accounts and into buying lavish homes in beautiful areas. It's like the CEO of it, right?
Yeah.
And what's her name? Candace Owens did a whole documentary and exposed Black Lives Matter. Like, go watch it. It's all factual. Whether you like Candace Owens or not, you have to put Candace Owens aside and look at the documentary and go, this is factual. You can research everything and see, like, holy fuck, they were funneling money and none of the money made it to the black communities who needed that money. So to answer your question, that's part number one. Part number two, and I want all of you to understand this. When you just get on board like, oh, I support Israel and you do the flag, or I support Ukraine and you do the flag. Studies came out about 5 years ago, ever since social media, when there's a disaster that happens, people just go, I support Lahaina, I support Hawaii and Maui. Your fucking support on your Instagram account does nothing to put food and shelter and housing and medicine into those communities. Donations are at an all-time low because people feel like, because I posted about it and reposted the Armenian flag, because there's a whole issue going on in Karabakh right now in Armenia, what they don't know is behind the scenes, I'm sending money. I'm sending medical aid. 2 years ago, I helped fill up a private jet and sent, not body armor, but armored plates and vests that would carry those armored plates separately overseas to Armenia, because it's illegal to send body armor overseas.
I almost unplugged your mic. I was like, hold on.
Right? But I have to do that behind the scenes. And my fellow Armenians, please listen to me when I say this. Me posting about what's happening in Armenia is not going to do anything. You want me to use my money to help them, and you want me to use my influence to reach out to my local politicians that I am connected to and say, hey, look, there's this thing happening in this tiny little country that I'm from. I know America has nothing to gain from it. And so, in fact, Turkey, who is Armenia's arch enemy right now, is just beating the shit out of us. And Turkey and our United States are more aligned than United States and Armenia. But is there any way you guys can stop what is otherwise a genocide taking place? Like, you want me to use my influence and my money, not just post. How would you like if I just posted what's happening in Armenia, talked about the number of deaths that's taking place, talk about how the territory is shrinking, and then do nothing else about it, feel good about it? People are like, yeah, he's a good Armenian. Am I? Did I send money? Did I send armor? Did I send medical aid? Did I try and influence leaders who could actually maybe do something? I have to do that behind the scenes, and I do it quietly, humbly, and I know many people do that. You do that. Others do that. My dear friend Pat David does that, and he's part Armenian. Right. And so understand that when you guys are all up in my DMs and you guys think that posting about something will somehow make this thing go away, it won't. Donations and actual help are at an all-time low because motherfuckers are just posting a flag or posting a fist and then going on to post their booty pictures again.
Right.
Fucked up, man.
Exactly. Just checking a box, basically, man.
Right. Checking a box and moving on.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. I support it. All right, now back to my vacation.
Yeah. Okay, in the meantime, people in Israel are fucking dying. Right? I support it. Okay, well, if there's a kid dying, can you send some money and some medical aid? Fuck.
That's crazy, man. Okay, I'm sorry. I had to just ask that question because I wanted to know, and obviously a lot of people in the chat wanted to know as well, so I wanted to ask. So Nick asked a question. He says, there are routes that millennials are aided to take, entrepreneurship, college, or switching career fields to the next highest pay. What are your thoughts on going to the Air Force for the skills instead of pay?
I think that's great. If there is a skill that you can get by either working for someone or going to a certain branch of the military and develop a skill, right? Fucking go do it. Because not only are you developing a skill that you can later get compensated for outside of the military, but if you're in the military, you're also learning a lot of structure, discipline, routine that's going to make you a better human.
Yeah.
Like, why not?
100%. Okay, first of all, who sent this? Premier Closet sends $100. So shout out to you guys. We appreciate that. We'll be doubling it.
Thank you for that.
It says, hi, Bedros. I think I can help people find a purpose if they can work with their hands. I quit my tool and die job at 41 and started a custom closet business. I've been in business 19 years and we'll do about 1.7 million gross this year. Nice,
Hell
man.
yeah, Premier Closets. Guys, there you go. Like, if you want to do, like, and by the way, the labor industry, like plumbers, carpenters, closet makers, roofers, it is an all-time low. I would not be surprised if within the next 5 or 10 years, like, you know how everyone's talking about, like, Amazon shipping and drop shipping products and selling courses and stuff today, like, that's the new hack. I wouldn't be surprised if in the future, like, the new way of making money is like air condition repair, plumbing, things like that, electrician.
Right.
Those skills are going away. So guys, there you go. Reach out to Premier Closets right here. Brother, thank you so much for that donation. And obviously that you're on pace to do $1.7 million this year. Obviously that's your gross revenue, but which means your profit margins are pretty solid. Anyone can do this.
There we go. You know we got a celebrity in the chat, right?
Uh-oh, I see him.
We got Mr. B up in here, man. Shout out to Mr. Botticelli. He says, no questions, just saying hello to Bedros and Layden. What up, fellas? What's good, bro?
What's up, Botticelli? Miss you, man. Miss you. We also have another celebrity, by the way.
Who else? Who else we got?
Nick.
Is it
Nick
okay.
Kumalastos? So he says, if you yelled at me like you do at others in the project, I would send you to the dentist. I love that. That's the number one thing we hear, by the way. Nick, thank you so much. Nick Kumalastos. By the way, the Agogi. Andrew, can you put a link to the Agogi right here? If you guys are looking to get guys, if you're looking to get jacked, you're looking to get ripped, you want a coach to hold you accountable to getting jacked and ripped, do the Agogi. You've heard me talk about Battle Ready before. We merged Battle Ready and Agogi together. My friend Nick, who's also now one of the project instructors, his business partner, now my business partner, Josh, and Byron and I run the Agogi program, and they will develop an amazing fitness, training, nutrition, mindset program for you and put you in a community of dudes that will get lean and jacked. And the reason Nick put that comment up there, that if you yelled at me like you yell at the guys at the project, I'll send you to the dentist. You know the inside story, because you're the one that puts all those viral videos. By the way, if you want to know who puts all the viral videos that we get all the hate for project, especially whenever Steve goes on a racial rant during the project, or he goes on a hate rant, Leighton's there with his iPhone recording. It just happens. It works out so perfectly. And then Leighton edits it just right to really fuel the fire. And then, of course, all the, what do they call the keyboard warriors?
Yeah.
Are like, if you yelled at me like you're yelling at that guy, I would punch you so hard you'd have to go to the dentist. And we're so tired of hearing that, because come on out to the project. Right. I'll even let you do it for free if you're a hater. And if you graduate, I will donate $18,000, which is the cost of the project.
Yeah.
I'll donate $18,000 to your favorite charity. And if you feel like punching us when we're yelling at you, you can. Like, what a great opportunity. Do the project for free, graduate, $18,000. I will donate to your favorite charity. And whenever you feel like punching us during the project, you can. Bring it. Just slide into my DMs on Instagram, and Leighton will onboard you.
There we go. And by the way, has anybody even taken that offer?
Nope.
You offered it to like 100 people I've seen. And
hundreds of people. Yeah.
Nobody's taking it. Yeah. Like, all the people that say they want to come, there's your ticket right there.
Yeah, and they're like, well, I can't afford it. I go, well, it's free. And do you have a favorite charity or your church? Does your church need money? They're like, yeah. I go, great. I'll donate $18,000 to your church or charity when you graduate the 75 hours. And then they go radio silent. And then so I cut and paste that whole conversation, and I share it on my stories, and I tell people to just start hating on them and trolling them.
Exactly.
I troll the trolls, by the way. I'm a troller.
All right, Ben Sturman says a super chat. He says, let's get these started. If you need change, go join the Agogi. There it goes. Never mind. Agogi shout out. Appreciate you, Ben. La Machina says, how can I forgive myself for a bad mistake I made in the past and stop beating myself up over it? 20 years old.
Oh, man, that's a really good question. And so, listen, we've all made mistakes. The human condition is suffering. The human condition is making mistakes. And the human condition is, unfortunately, trauma, experiencing events, sexual abuse, physical abuse, mental abuse, emotional abuse that end up you end up carrying this false narrative about yourself, a story that you end up making into your identity. Yeah. Remember, I was molested as a boy by two older boys. When I was between the ages of 4 and 6, I was molested by two older boys in Armenia. And the story I told myself growing up is that I'm unlovable, unworthy. People probably are grossed out by me if they found out about this. And so it was a secret that I held. And I'm telling this, someone says, how did you overcome sexual abuse? I'm telling the story right now. Pedro and I could be friends. You turn the P into a B, you slap a S at the end of that O, and you got the Bedros. But anyways, all that to say that my story was that I'm unlovable, unworthy, that I'm just disposable, and people would be disgusted if they found out what happened to me, so I had to keep it a secret. Well, then you go through life with that story, so you start looking for evidence to justify that story. Someone looks at you just sideways and you're like, oh, see, I'm being judged. Oh, see, they don't like me. Oh, see, I do have it hard. So when you tell a story, you end up building a fake identity, and then you start looking in the world for events to justify or to validate that false identity. So the best thing you can do is seek out therapy, read books like The Body Keeps the Score, read books like How to Do the Work, read books like Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway, read books like Outwitting the Devil. There's 4 books right there that you can read. Psycho-Cybernetics, there's a 5th book. Read those books, work with a good therapist, forgive yourself and forgive the people who caused the trauma, and move on and rewrite your new identity. My new identity is that I'm a fucking badass and I'm a servant of humanity, and I will touch millions of people's lives before I die. With that identity, I go out looking, and I always find validation for that. I see people in gas stations, grocery stores, gyms, everywhere, like, Bedros, you saved my life. Bedros, you changed my business. Bedros, I now work out. Bedros, I now don't have gelatinous titties. And it's all because I've changed my identity, and I go out and I find evidence to justify that.
There we go. Mike Key, he sounds like he's relating to the story you're telling about your mom. He says, my mom is dying of ALS, and that's how I feel right now. I'm 40, and I feel like I'm next.
Yeah. Brother, I know how you feel. Listen, be there for your mom, number one. Be there when she takes her last breath. I was holding my mom's head, rubbing her head. I was sitting next to her for hours. I got the text at 2 a.m, drove to my mom's house. My sister was next to me. My brother was next to me. My dad was in the other room. As you can imagine, it's hard to picture your wife of 68 years passing away. And I held my mom's hand, and I was rubbing her head and talking to her, and then watched her take her last breath. And I feel good about that. So there you go.
Yeah, man.
Fuck.
It's a tough one, man.
It still fucking hurts, but it's still so new. Yeah.
No, that's a tough one, man. It's one of those, people. You only understand if you've been through it before.
Yeah, it's hard to lose your mom, man. But just be there for her. And then every day I would drive from my mom's house, because I was there even as she was dying, right, over the last several months, like as she was bedridden. And we called in a hospice nurse to take care of her at home, and an Armenian caretaker also. And I would leave my mom and dad's house in Anaheim after hanging out with my mom and dad, and I would drive to the Gold's Gym in Buena Park or Fullerton, which is like 10 minutes away. I would just get an angry workout out, and then I would drive home just as a better human, because I didn't want to bring this energy home. And so find a healthy habit, because the alternative for me would have been to emotionally eat, or to maybe have a cocktail or two to take the edge off. So I would leave my mom's house. Even the day she died, once Forest Lawn came through and took her body away hours later, and I stayed with my dad and my family for a while. I drove to that gym, just did an insane workout, and got the dopamines and the endorphins going, and then drove home tired. I had been awake well over 24 hours, but that's nothing new to me. I do the project, and so but that's what this guy's got to do, man. Yeah, and then just be grateful for all the times you've spent with her.
100%. Okay, so let's lighten the mood real quick. We saw somebody asking.
Fucked me up,
they said, my bad address. Let's lighten it up. Okay, someone asked what your horoscope sign is.
Oh, man. Okay, see, here's another problem with being a foreigner. Do you know the story?
No,
All
I
right,
don't know.
so like 5 years ago when I was applying to get or Joan was applying for me to get my CCW permit, concealed carry permit, my driver's license says July 22nd at the time. My passport said July 28th. My citizenship certificate said July 28th. My social security said July 22nd. So I don't have a birth certificate, bro, because I'm a foreigner. I was born in like a third world country in Armenia. And so sometime between July 22nd and 28th is when I was born, of 1974. And so I'm either the last day of Cancer or I'm the first few days of Leo. People tell me I tend to show more Leo characteristics, so I'm going to go with that. So somewhere between July 22nd to July 28th,
That's where you're at.
which makes me either a last day of Cancer or first few days of Leo.
Got it.
Leo. That's so stupid.
Lamakina, he says another.
Andrew's just chuckling to himself over there.
He's the one feeding me these questions, because it's not me. He's
All right.
sending them to me.
All right, take it easy on the mom stuff, Andrew. You're killing me, man.
Okay. Lamakina sends another chat. He says, "Hey B, how do we not live in fear of totalitarianism or a tyranny? I'm 20 years old and wouldn't mind having a future with freedom."
Yeah, you know what? I wouldn't mind you having a future with freedom as well, brother. And the way we are going to do this is we are going to all seek out mastery at the highest level, self-mastery at the highest level. My friend Andy Frisilla says personal excellence. He and I were texting yesterday. We just go off these rants, and we text for a while, or we jump on a call on a Saturday and just rant about the world. And if every single person just focused on personal excellence, every single person focused on becoming the 2.0 version of themselves, their highest version, make more money, be jacked, have sovereignty, be a free thinker, don't be told what to think, lead yourself, your family, your community. There is no way any government can take over us. It is when we just sheepishly, like dopes, go, okay, I should wear a mask, I will. If I stay 6 feet away, I'm good. Okay, I'll stay 6 feet away from you. But in a gym, I can't do that. But I can go into Walmart and lick doorknobs and bump into each other. Like what the fuck, right? If it doesn't make sense, you have a fucking brain, use it. And y'all don't use your brains. And then so they go, well, we encroached on their freedoms, and they just like. And then how about the fools that wear 3 masks driving by themselves in the car? Like,
I see it all the
what
time.
are you doing?
Still.
Like, you are literally saying, take over the country, strip me away of all my freedoms and rights, and let me just be a sheep at your disposal. So if we all leaned into self-mastery and becoming the 2.0 version of ourselves, we will become such a great force of opposition against this retarded government that there is no way tyranny would win.
100%, man. All right. Sorry, hold on. Okay, Joe Luplo.
Yes.
Project grad.
Yeah,
in the
Project
house.
grad.
What's good,
Yep.
man?
And
By the way, I saw your text. I didn't ignore you. Obviously, now you see I'm doing it live.
An
So
Army
I'll get back to
Ranger
you.
as well.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
a badass fucking warfighter.
A bunch of things. Exactly. Project grad obviously is the first thing that comes to my mind. But yes, man.
Also a coach at the Agogi.
Yeah, does
Bodybuilder,
everything.
yep.
What does he not do? He says, Bedros, need advice. I've lost all my love and passion in life. Oh, wait. Hold on.
That can't be Joe.
That's not him. There's a Joe. There's a Yo Joe below you. So actually, Joe said just buffing the algorithm. Much love, B. Okay.
Yeah.
Just kidding. You did not just ask for advice right now. That's a different comment.
Okay.
Yo Joe right below him says Bedros, I need advice. I've lost all my love and passion in life. Health and fitness has been my whole life, but my mental health has ripped that away. Can't seem to get past this.
Well, obviously I don't know the great details. It's not like we're sitting for 75 hours. Not that we sit 75 hours of the project, but there's some sitting time where we journal, talk, communicate. But if we had that time, I'd ask you a lot of questions. Why? What's going on? What led to this? When did it start? What was the trigger? But I can tell you that get back into your fitness. Like, just force yourself to eat right, get sunlight, sleep consistently at the same time, and wake up at the same time. Work out consistently, get lean and jacked again, and when you do, that becomes the gateway drug to finding yourself again, falling madly in love with yourself. Do a little self-audit. Like, what triggered this? What caused this? What made me go down this rabbit hole? And if it's a relationship, then forgive that relationship, end that relationship, move on, and fall madly in love with yourself. Date yourself. And when you become the best version of yourself, again, self-mastery and personal excellence lead you to the highest level version of yourself, which then lead you to finding the perfect people in your life, whether they're friends, whether it's a honey, whether it's a business that gives you fulfillment. But it all starts with getting lean and jacked, getting your sleep and getting sunlight. And then from there, when you win the physical battle, that bleeds into every other area of your life and your mental battle. Unless there's like a mental disorder, I imagine, then go work with a psychologist or a therapist who can help you with that mental disorder. And I would vote for talk therapy over just medicating yourself with, antipsychotic drugs that they pass out like it's Pez candy these days.
Right. Real quick, I'm going to get back to these super chats. But somebody said, Clyja Mitchell says, I need captions. I'm deaf, and your message I have no access to. Many deaf people need to hear your message. Now, I know on a regular YouTube video, you can click, the captions. You can set it up. I don't even know if you can do that on live. Do you guys know? Okay, I didn't. I just was curious.
You can or you can't?
Yeah, I figured we wouldn't be able to do it real time, but I was gonna say maybe in the future. But anyways.
Yeah, but here's what we can tell. Is it Clyja?
Clyja, yeah, I think so.
Clyja, just so you know, you know what, Andrew, maybe you can type this. Yeah. When we are done with the YouTube live, it gets posted up to YouTube, and then from there they can click on the.
Maybe you can watch it there.
Yeah, they can watch it there, the replay, and then they can see the closed captions there.
Got it.
Boom, there we go.
Cool. All right, shout out to Charles Van Dyke, sends a super chat, and he's from Legacy Tribe.
Yeah.
So what's good, man? He says, hi, B, Legacy Tribe member here, leaving a well-paid but dead-end job after 17 years. I'm in my early 40s, have a family. I don't have the next thing lined up yet. What are some tools to find the why or its purpose? And then what?
That's it?
Yep, that's it.
Yeah. Here's the easiest way to find out what your next thing is. If you're leaving a dead-end job, you're unhappy with it, and you're like, what do I do now that I'm ready to take the risk, take the plunge, have faith in myself? Ask yourself, what are you interested in? Ed, who's behind the cameras here, is also a great DJ. He just loves music as well. He also loves cars, so he's got a great, kind of a older classic car collection, all types of different, Porsche, BMW, Lexuses that are just built out to go off-roading and all this shit. And so Ed can turn any one of those things. In fact, his passion for video and photography is why we have him here. But he also does this DJing on the side as well and makes money. And he also now kind of helps host car shows and stuff and makes money that way. So whatever you're passionate about, I was passionate about fitness because it helped me change my life and transform my health. So I was like, I'm going to go into that. People forget that you could take your passion, the things that you're excited about, could be a hobby about drumming, get so good that you could then teach other people how to do it in exchange for money. Mm-hmm. Don't look for, hey, what is making money today? Because if you're not passionate about it, it's never going to make you the kind of money it's making someone who's passionate about it. Instead, find what you're excited and passionate about that you would do for free all day long. Like I know Ed would be all up on cars, videos, and music if like he had the whole day free. I know what I'd be doing. You know, I'd be building businesses and I'd be working out. So odds are I'm going to build a workout business. So I built Fit Body Boot Camp, a franchise, a supplement company, right?
What do you know?
Yeah. And so I just take my passions and I get so good at it that I can actually charge for it.
Yeah. There we go. Awesome. Cool. All right. So George Rojo says, what is the best revenge after the following: fired from a job, being cheated on, or taken for granted after a divorce?
Oh man, I know what the best revenge is. Success. Success is the best revenge. Go out and win at life. Let them choke on your success, my friend.
Why is that?
Well, that's because if you were to actually do something vengeful to that person, key their car, send them stupid messages, whatever, now what you're acquiring is karmic debt, right? Karma will come and get you. And I believe that karma shows up in two ways. One, it doubles whatever you did. So if you stabbed me, then karma is going to shoot you. And so, number one. Number two, I also believe that karma also impacts your next generation. And so I always think about that. Like if I'm acquiring karmic debt, it's not just going to hurt me. It's going to hurt Andrew and Chloe, my kids. And I will never allow that. So instead, there's plenty of people that have crossed me, that have backstabbed me. Hell, you know it. You've been working with me long enough. However, all I do is just become so successful that it becomes the best revenge. And let them choke on it. Like, let them see you. Let them be the spectator watching the fucking warrior that you are succeeding in life.
Gonna hurt the most.
Hell yeah.
In fact, if anybody's watching that's rejected Bedros in high school and you're watching the show, shout out to you guys because, man, that's crazy.
Yep.
So there it is. Speaking of that, just that one idea, that one thought alone, karmic debt and racking up karmic debt. We obviously talked about me taking my daughter to Disneyland 2 days ago. I wanted to tell them so bad that she was like under 2, but like she's like walking and she speaks Spanish. So I can tell she doesn't speak English because she doesn't speak. She doesn't know how to. So, but I was like, it's all right. I'd rather just pay the ticket and bring her in, have fun, and not have that on my mind. And then later on, have karma for that. So, anyways.
Good for you, man.
You saying that just keeps that. I have it in my mind all the time.
Catching yourself doing that kind of stuff, like it's such a high level of maturity. Because like, the truth is, you could have said that and probably saved, I don't know, $80 or $50. Like those tickets.
No, dude, $170.
Stop it.
I said what?
For one little human?
Yeah, mine was $170. Hers was $160. $10 off. I said, wow, shout out to Disney.
I would have just lied and said she's too. No, I'm kidding. No. You did the right thing, and you know it, which is why you did it. We don't want to acquire, number one, the karmic debt, and number two, we don't want to adopt a broke man's mentality. You know what I mean? More than that, I don't want to ever do broke people shit. So I don't want to look at the cheapest thing on the menu. Never find the cheapest thing on the menu. Never. You know, I don't want to clip coupons if I've got the money to afford it. It's just I don't want to do broke shit because it then psychologically tells me that, hey, you're still broke-minded, and we always tend to find what we're looking for, and I don't want to find broke.
I get it. All right. The archive says, on the topic of books, what are some of your favorite books for sales and business? I know you said Zig Ziglar was a great influence on your sales skills when you were first starting out. Yeah,
so Zig Ziglar has some great sales books. Brian Tracy has some great sales books. Tom Hopkins has some great sales books. Also, there's a book called The Little Red Book of Selling. Forgive me, I don't know who the author is, but it's called The Little Red Book of Selling. I know there's a dude named Andy Elliott out there. He seems like he's pretty damn good at selling, teaching sales training. So, you know, Grant Cardone has some awesome sales books. I've actually read them, love them. They're great. And then in terms of how do you build the skill, repetition. Get in front of people and sell. Like go door to door and start selling vacuums or solar or roofing or air conditioning. Repetition is what makes you good at anything.
That and consistency, because if you don't have, you don't go out for a while, you don't go to door to door for a little bit, you don't have a phone call in a little while, you don't have, whatever for a little while, it's a perishable skill, you'll get rusty.
It is a perishable skill. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, well said.
Cool. All right, Rinker1978 says, I have a 20-year-old stepson who just had a son. He has a part-time job and a girlfriend that has no job and lives with us. He has no desire to elevate. Any advice for a frustrated stepdad?
He's how old, the kid?
20.
He's 20 years old? Well, here's what I would do. I would say, hey, pal, you're 20 years old. In 90 days, you're going to need to start paying rent, for living here, and you also contribute to this household. Good news is it's 90 days, and the better news is I'm here to help you get a job. I'm here to build the skills you need to get a job, and I will do whatever it takes to help you get there. And when you get a job and you pay me rent, I will save that rent money until it adds up to enough for you to move out in the next 12 months, 24 months. And if he says, no, I don't want to do that, I'm just going to live here for free because you're married to my mom, because that's a stepson, right?
Yeah.
And therein lies the problem. We need to go back and like, how did you get yourself in this situation, bro? Right? Like, why are you stepsonning? Like, and if you were going to do that, and all of you, if you're like, oh yeah, man, I'm with this chick and she's got 3 kids, guess what? It all sounds fine when you guys are getting it on and you're like, your kids will be my kids, all that shit. But then when you're like, hey, your kid's 20 years old now and he needs to move out, she's like, no, that's my baby. My baby's going to stay. So y'all should have gotten on the same page when you were in the honeymoon phase, when you guys were swapping spit, when you guys were trading juices. At some point, you should have been like, hey, can we stop bumping uglies for a second and talk about these 3 kids that you have? I'll treat them as my own, but can we both agree that when they're 18 or 19 or 20, like if they're not functioning members of society and they're not paying rent, they're not pulling their weight, we got to do something about it. We got to be a unified front. And then she might be like, no, that's not going to happen. Then cool, peace out, baby. On the flip side, she's like, you know what? Thank you. That's a great plan. Awesome. Now we're a unified front. 10 years later, when this kid is 20 years old, you go, hey, remember that conversation? I'm about to go have that conversation with him. Thanks for being on the same page with me and having my back, Mom. But you didn't have that conversation with Mom, so go have that conversation with Mom now. And if you guys are on the same page, execute, execute, execute.
Okay, let me play devil's advocate real quick. So let's say that he did have that conversation with her, but because when they were doing their thing, she was all going. They're in that, just like you said, when they're knocking boots, he might not have his mind in the right spot. But what if it's the same for her? And she was telling him, yeah, you could tell him whatever. I don't care if you discipline him. He's 20 years old now. You can, be his actual dad. Tell him whatever you need to. Be tough on him. But now it's changing. Let's say that happens. What do you do there?
Then I would just relieve the relationship. To me, it's a breach of contract. It's a social contract that we just had, right? So if I shake your hand, I'm like, Leighton, blah, 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 we're going to be 50-50 partners. You go, yes. Even though we didn't write anything, I'm a man, you're a man. We just have a gentleman's social contract. If I go back on it, you should bounce. If you go back on it, I'm bouncing. And so I know it's hard, man, but that's what needs to happen. Or you just have to suck it up and deal with it, friend, which means you're going to end up resenting that child and the mom, which means it's all going to crumble to shit anyway.
Yeah. All right. Carlos Salgado says, he says the super chat, he says, Bedros, what's your advice for a single immigrant mother raising 2 kids? I've tried to push this show onto her, and she's slowly falling in love with it, and starting to work out and everything.
Good. Keep doing more of that. Keep her working out. Let her know the importance of having your life in order. Again, self-mastery, becoming your 2.0 self, making money, being a free thinker, like all this stuff. And the books that we talked about in terms of psycho-cybernetics, The Big Leap is another great book to do, Outwitting the Devil. Like, put them into self-help books, put them into self-help programs. If there's a speaking course you can put your kids into, like Toastmasters or improv classes, things that will push them to become entrepreneurs, great speakers, great salespeople, like empower them with the tools, turn them on to my podcast and other podcasts like this that are serving humanity, and then also lead from the front, be a role model of all those things too. You work out, you eat right, you learn how to do all those things. Because I do that with my son and daughter, they do it too. But if I just said, go work out, eat right, learn how to make money, but I'm a fat slob, they're going to be like, nah, not really. You're demonstrating being a fat slob, so I'm not going to listen to your words.
Right. And on the note of content, when he says that she's slowly falling in love with the show, there's some people that message you and ask, like, hey, what's like the female version of you? Do you know any of your coaching clients put out content like you, but for women? And I always recommend your wife, Di. And so shout out to Di's show. Maybe she could watch the BK show, and she might like that show as well.
Bingo.
So there's a ton of value there.
Yep.
But just, a little plug right there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to pronounce this guy's Rook X. Anyways, sends a super chat. Thank you for that. We'll double that. How do you optimize workouts and being high performing in your job with younger kids so they don't feel neglected? What is your advice? Thank you for everything, Bedros. I appreciate your information.
Here's the deal with kids. yes, you're a high performer. Yes, you have a career or you have a really busy job. Your kids don't need a lot of time with you. They just need quality time with you. And so people overestimate how much time the kids really need. They just need quality time with you. When you're there, be present. Put your iPhone away. Take interest in their music and their shit. Go work out with them. Have an adventure with them. Go bowling. Go on date nights with... I did date nights with Chloe. I did workouts, still do workouts with Andrew. Well, now he's got a girlfriend, so I don't get to work out with him at night like I used to, but he's got a girlfriend, so... You know, she trumps me. What do I do?
We can't say it on the live.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Okay. All right. Delete this. Oh, son, I hope you're not listening to this. But if you are, forgive me. I love you. But anyway, man, like you raise like awesome little kids, and you do this by pouring into them. I've been super busy. I would argue that if you talk to Andrew and Chloe, and you go, hey, did you miss your dad a lot? When like, no, because when he was here, maybe he was gone on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, speaking at events, but then when he was here during the week, like we're working out together, going on, you know, little adventures and trips together and really making memorable times. So the time together has to be valuable and not distracted.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Andrew Heathershaw says, I've been researching the benefits of a whole food diet, similar to carnivore/keto, cutting out sugars. What does your regimen consist of?
So my diet is this, and I'm back on the Get Lean program because I was just kind of letting myself eat loosely the last 90 days, just because of all the like morning and stuff. When I say loosely, I was just eating more carbs, and carbs do make me fatter, which I took advantage of that, and I got stronger, right? So it really helped me build my shoulders, chest, back, etc., even more. And now I'm on the Get Lean diet. So here's what I eat: 2 Habit chicken Caesar salads with double chicken. So each of those have 60 grams of protein. And then I have 2 Truline, and I'm not just saying this because I own Truline, I have 2 Truline protein shakes a day. Once in the morning, once in the afternoon. So it goes Truline protein shake, 2 scoops, which is 40 grams, first thing in the morning. And then after my workout, I have a double chicken Caesar salad with no croutons, dressing on the side. I just tell Shelby, she orders it. I had it right before this. I'll have another protein shake right after this. And then I'll have, a couple hours later, I'll have another double chicken Caesar salad, no croutons, dressing on the side. And then at night, I'll have a high-carb, high-protein meal. And so I backload my carbs. And I've been doing this for just a week and a half now, back on my Get Lean diet. And I'm down 3 pounds, and my abs are coming out, and the veins are starting to come back out in my biceps, which is awesome. I lose fat very quickly when I dial it in. And then when I intentionally do put on the fat and show myself some grace, I train like a fucking beast so that I could use those extra calories to put on muscle. And so for me, I weigh 226 pounds as of this morning, and I eat about 210 grams of protein a day. Calorie-wise, I'm probably around 2,700 calories. It's high protein, high fat, very moderate carbs, and it seems to work well for me.
There you go. All right, quick shout out to Snesh. He sends a super chat. She just says, you're so good, B. So shout out to you.
Snesh, she's one of my Domination Year coaching clients, an amazing human, a great coach. If Andrew, if you can post Snesh's Instagram handle here, I think everyone should follow her. If you guys are into fitness, you want to be a better kind of technical lifter, she is the one to follow, man. She's a tremendous athlete. By the way, I don't know if you saw the one, Tristan Lynn. Do you guys ever hear testimonials from wives of MDK Project graduates? I have my own thoughts and would love to hear from other sides who are doing these. Is that on the list?
It wasn't, but we actually, I mean, let's talk about it now because we have a video coming out. Obviously, we just sent me the video a couple days ago. Yeah. I haven't posted it yet. I'm still waiting on a couple more testimonials. But yeah, man, it's the videos that I do have. It's so awesome to see, man, because we get to see, you know, it happen with the husbands, with the men there. But we don't really, you know, get to hear all the time about what happens when they get home. Right. You know, the positive things that comes out of it.
Yeah. See, that's funny you say that because I need to get better at sharing with you guys what I hear from the wives. Because once the guys get home, you know, 60, 90 days go by and the wives see like this newer version of the husband, right? Like, holy crap, he's more decisive. He's got a more emotional discipline. He's never seen him this driven in his life. Or I did see him this driven, but then a series of events happened in life and he just kind of lost his fire. He's got that fire back again. He's not drinking. He's not smoking weed. He's not playing video games, and he's really focused on the family. Like our financial situation's improving. I get those messages. And in fact, I think on the Modern Day Night Project website where you can go register, there's testimonials of wives like a year later, like how is your husband and your relationship today since he graduated the project? And they just gush about it because Look, man, we don't fix husbands. It's not we fix the husbands. These are fucking men that are driven, that have had something happen to them where they lost their fire, and we just help them reconnect to a brotherhood, help them reconnect to their purpose and passion, and then help them relight the fire within, and then they just go and dominate life.
Right.
So don't ever think like, I'm going to send my husband there to fix him. I'm not a man fixer, and men aren't broken. Men are not broken. I say this to these guys all the time. Like everyone else, they probably experienced some kind of trauma or hardship in their life that fabricated some false narrative, some false story that created this bullshit identity that they now have to try and live this fake identity of, I need alcohol to cope with this, or I need weed or pornography to cope with that. No, you don't. You just need to be a fucking man who's driven by purpose, by faith in yourself, by a brotherhood and a community that holds you accountable. That is it.
Right. Love it, man. Chris Acosta. Oh, actually, before I get to that, Andrew says he's going to post a link to those testimonials from the wives. So if anybody wants to check them out, we're going to throw that in there. Chris Acosta sends a super chat. He says, thanks, Theo. BK, you've shown me how to step up my game and transition from a crop duster into a fighter jet. I used to weigh 350 pounds and now 270. That's dope,
Damn,
bro.
good job, bro.
Weight,
almost
man.
100 pounds, man.
Yeah.
He like literally lost a small human.
That's crazy,
Yeah.
man. Working on getting jacked, improving my mental health, win at life, and make that money. Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's up, man.
Good for you, man.
Jordan Brajan sends a super chat, says, what up, Bedros? Huge fan of you and the man, Steve Eckert. There we go.
Steve is a machine.
For real. 22 years old. What are the top 3 things to do every day to keep me on track and consistent?
Eat like an athlete, train like an athlete, educate yourself like a scholar. In other words, like stoicism, self-development books, instead of playing video games and jacking off to pornography. Like, eat like an athlete, train like an athlete, educate yourself like a scholar.
Here we go. Short and sweet. Hope you're taking notes, man. Gino Guevara says, I'm a 32-year-old veteran. My passion is helping other veterans. I don't feel comfortable making money off of veterans, but I want to take my finances to the next level. Thoughts or advice?
Yes, be comfortable about making money off of veterans. Veterans work. Charge them a fair price for your service, because when people pay, they also pay attention. If you give away anything free, one time in the past, I gave away a free seat to my mastermind program. I said, you get a free membership for a whole year to my mastermind group. It's a high-level coaching group. And that person came to one mastermind meeting and didn't come to the rest. Never did the coaching calls, never was on the Zooms, etc. Because when you don't pay attention. And so I'll never give anything away. Now, those of you that were at BK Live, you're like, liar, you gave a domination year away at BK Live to that young girl, that 15 or 16-year-old girl. Yeah. That's different, man. I saw my daughter in her. I talked to her during one of the breaks, and I saw the fire in her eye. And I know she's driven by something great. And this 15, 16-year-old cannot afford my $100,000 a year coaching program. And I told her, I want you to do it as though you're paying for it. And if you miss one coaching call, or if you're late to your half-day meetings, it's done. We're not doing it. And I know she's going to be a gangster at it, but that's a different story. I see my daughter in her, you know what I mean? And yep. I get to coach and mentor Andrew and Chloe. And so this young lady, well-spoken, had a great idea, asked a smart question, and I was like, let me mentor you for a year. Yeah.
100%, man.
Yes, sir. By the way, there's a dude, you keep drinking. Someone says, by the way, JPOV, POV, donated $10. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. We're going to double that and donate to Shriners Children's Hospital. Hey, man, huge fan, but I recently just lost my mom, and I've been stuck in this negative mindset. I still have a positive mindset, but do you have any recommendations on keeping a positive mindset? Yes. I don't have any recommendations, bro. Jay, first of all, man, my condolences for losing your mom. My heart bleeds for you. I know what it's like to lose your mom. I'm going to go on a limb and say that it's more painful to lose your mom than to lose your dad. Thankfully, I still have my dad in my life. He's 89 years old. But I can tell you already, losing my mom is going to be a greater pain than losing my dad, because you're born from your mom, and you just probably, historically, we spend more time with our moms than our dads anyway. But anyways, so all that to say, man, my condolences. Now, I don't know how to help you keep a positive mindset, because if you were watching this 30 minutes ago, you saw me break down talking about my mom and getting all weepy and crying. I have plenty of those moments in my truck or at the gym when I'm just pushing myself and I just start thinking about my mom, or just how, whatever, I can't even talk about it right now because I'll start breaking down again. But you can't keep a positive mindset. What you can do, though, is count on your discipline and your structure. And so go and keep working out every single day like a beast. Listen to music that makes you happy. For me, it's Jack Johnson. It makes me happy. Just like there's music that I play in the gym that makes me very angry, like 90s rap, and then metal music, classic rock music. That'll put me like in this place where I want to run through a wall. Jack Johnson puts me in a very happy state that I just want to eat banana pancakes and sit under a coconut tree. And so I listen to good music. I do my consistent workouts. I eat right. I surround myself with awesome people who are positive. And then I know that over time, this too shall pass. And so I'm here to tell you, brother, this too shall pass. I'm a living example of it. My mom died 3.5 weeks ago. I feel better today than I did 3.5 weeks ago. I feel better today than I did yesterday. And so you have to give it time. You have to mourn, but you have to have discipline and structure. And eventually your discipline and structure will change your mindset into one that's positive.
Awesome. Jack Stuckey sends a super chat, says, thank you for everything. Gym hustle and work ethic are maxed out. How can I use that to stop being a workhorse for other people and make my own money and be independent? I'm trying to start a business, but have no idea what I'm doing.
Well, if you're trying to start a business and you have no idea what you're doing, one, Andrew, can you put the link again to Legacy Tribe on here? Like, get on, all of you, get on the Legacy Tribe waiting list. So when we open it up on, I think it's October 30th or October 31st, just sign up for it. It's $249 a month, the cheapest coaching you'll ever get from me. Number one. Number two, if you don't know what you're doing, then also start reading books about entrepreneurship. Read books on sales and marketing. Watch YouTube videos on sales, marketing, and entrepreneurship, and you learn. If you're hustling for others right now, that's great. You've got the work ethic. Now you just have to have like this singularity of focus. Figure out what it is that you want to do, like the specific thing you want to do, and commit to it. And when you commit to it and you create good content on social media that adds value to the community that could use that product or service, you use smart marketing and lead generation strategies, you then convert some of those leads into paying clients and customers, and then you exceed the expectation of, they get a better product or service than they thought they were buying, so they become evangelical, they become referrals, they start telling friends and family about it, they start posting about it. Think about how many people that came to BK Live were posting about it at the end of day one, because they were like, holy fuck, day one already paid for the event. Like day two still has yet to come. And so we already had a waiting list for BK Live 2 that's going to happen next September. And so I share this with you because if you can have singularity of focus, understand how their business works, get a mentor, read the books, watch the videos, you will soon realize that, oh, I have proficiency. And don't for a moment think that you have to know the whole thing, man. It's a giant staircase that might have 20 stairs, 20 steps. All you have to do is just take one step at a time, and before you know it, you're at the top of the staircase, an expert in your industry, and people are actually now paying you for advice.
Here we go. Rinker1978 asks another question, says, how much on average to open a Fit Body Bootcamp, and how much on average do they bring in profit yearly? I'm interested in a Newport Beach location.
Oh, okay, great question. So Fit Body Bootcamp buy-in fee, I believe now is either $54,000 or $56,000. So it's a one-time buy-in fee of, let's just say $56,000. And then it's 5% of your gross revenue. So whatever revenue you make, we keep 5% of that as our royalty fees. It's a 7-year franchise agreement, which is known as a FA. Franchise agreement. And it doesn't matter if you're opening up a Subway, a 7-Eleven, a Jiffy Lube, or a Fit Body Bootcamp, you are going to sign a FA, franchise agreement, for a period of time. It's either 5, 7, or 10 years. And then in terms of cost of building out, all in, building out, having 30 or 90 days of surplus money, hiring your opening team, marketing costs, everything, including the buy-in fee, about $220,000 to $250,000 all in to open up a Fit Body Bootcamp. We have locations that make $70,000, $80,000, $90,000 a month. Profit margins anywhere from 25 to 35%. We have locations that make $30,000, $35,000 a month that have profit margins of 20, 25, 30%. Depends on your location, and we help you find a location, we help you market, and obviously your mileage may vary because you, at the end of the day, are the leader. As long as you run the systems will run the business. Don't put a juice bar in, don't put a kids club in, don't put a squat rack in, don't put a shower in. if you're going to open up a Fit Body Bootcamp, run it like a Fit Body Bootcamp, and you will make great profits like a Fit Body Bootcamp does. If you bastardize it, not only will you hear from our compliance department, and we'll just tell you to debrand and move on, but you will just suffer through the process because now you had to pay more for building out a shower or a kids club. And now you have to put, or if you put a juice bar in, we've seen locations put in juice bars before. They didn't realize now the health department has to come through and, give you the letter grades like every quarter and all that stuff. Like run the business like a Fit Body Bootcamp or go off and do your own thing. So Andrew, if you can drop the link to the Fit Body Bootcamp franchise site, anyone that's interested in a Fit Body Bootcamp, just fill out that expression of interest form. You'll talk to Max, who's one of our project graduates and a dear friend of ours, and he will give you the rundown.
Awesome, man. All right, so here's a reminder that you have fans all over the place, like literally all over the place, all over the world.
All over the world.
Right, so I think this is how you pronounce his name. It's either Yash or Yash. He says, hey, Bedros, I'm from, I think it's Mauritius. I never heard of it before. Mauritius, I think, Mauritius. It's a wonderful island really far away from you in the Indian Ocean. We speak a language called Creole. I've been following you for almost 2 years, and it's great content.
Wow. First off, brother, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Hopefully one day our paths will cross, we'll shake hands, and we'd love to meet you and learn more about your culture and what you guys do. As you're reading that, I see a gentleman named Mohammed says, big fan here from Pakistan, right? So again, a reminder that this message is out there serving humanity worldwide. Grateful for every single one of you, man, either whether here in the States or worldwide. Every single one of you matter to me, and I'm a man on a mission, and this team here that brings this entire BK show alive is on board with this mission. So thank you all.
Awesome, cool. And I'm going to get through these super chats right now. Anybody else who has super chats, send them as soon as you can. We're going to start winding down after these last few super chats. Pat Sorensen sent a super chat, says, hey, lads, I thought I'd challenge myself, and I'm doing a 32-kilometer marathon. Andrew translated that. He said it's about 20 miles. So thank you for those notes, because I didn't know how long that was.
Bro, just do 26.2 and you've got a full marathon. If you're doing 20 miles, just add 6.2 more and do the whole fucking thing. Yeah, that's awesome. Congratulations, brother.
Exactly. And he says he only has 2 weeks to prepare. I've never done a marathon in my life and have average fitness. Any advice? What would B do?
Yeah, well, I would give you the advice that I've heard David Goggins give over and over again. That right when you think you're tired, you're dead, you got no more to give, you're only at 40%. That is a David Goggins line, not a Bedros Keuilian line. That I have literally figured out every year when I do Suckfest, when I literally work a full day, and then as soon as the sun starts going down, I put on my shoes and I hike all of Chino Hills all night until the sun comes up. I hike from sundown to sun up about 40 miles in a 13-hour window, and it sucks. And I get blisters, and my knees hurt, my hips hurt, my back hurts, everything hurts because I never prepare for it because I want to be prepared for life. So I always try and stay prepared. But let me tell you, always those words from David Goggins comes to me where it hurts, it sucks, I got no more to give. Oh, that's right. I'm only at 40%. I've got 60% to go. And that's where you tap into your inner beast. You tap into your reasons why, and you keep pushing, brother, and you're going to do just fine. And when you do, shoot me a DM on Instagram and let me know how you did, brother.
Yeah. All right. I like this name. Jag, the Indian guitarist. He says, Bedros, I love you. You, Tate, Goggins, and Peterson led me to lose 54 kilograms. I don't know.
54 kilograms.
Is that a lot?
Okay, so yeah, 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds. So that's 100. I was just going to say about 120 pounds. That's another fucking full adult lost.
That's crazy, man.
Amazing.
So shout out to him. He says, in 10 months, he says, I'm 36 and struggled talking to ladies. Fear of rejection. Any advice? I've been alone most of my life in confidence, but confidence now has never been higher.
Any advice on talking to ladies?
Yeah, he says he has fear of rejection. Any advice on that?
Yeah, well, guess what? Just do it so many times that you're not rejected. So just 2 days ago, Chloe's like, Dad, I want a job. I want to go get a job because she's just turned 16. She can finally get a job. She's chomping at the bits. She goes, I got my stack of resumes. You took Andrew, and you guys gave away resumes, and then he got a job. So let's do that. I'm like, baby girl, let's go tonight. Boom. So Tuesday night, we went and we gave like 10 different resumes out, from CPK to Chipotle's to Cane's to In-N-Out, all these fucking places. And the first couple ones, she's like, oh my God, I'm nervous. I don't want to go inside. What do I say? I'm like, well, you can say, hi, my name is Chloe. I go to Ayala High School, is the manager here? I'm applying for a job, and I've got my resume. And she's like, oh, Dad, no, maybe we should. I'm like, no, we shouldn't do anything. Just go. By the time she did her 5th one, she was just walking in with confidence and boom, boom, boom. And then yesterday, I found out she's doing it. She did an interview with Chipotle.
Nice.
By the time we were doing number 9 and 10, she was just walking in there like the words were rolling off her tongue. And guess what? I would walk in and I would just stand, a few feet behind her. I was pretending like it's COVID, 6 feet behind her. And so I would hear what the manager's saying. And some managers or front desk people were like, sorry, we're not hiring. And she's like, can I leave my resume? Nope. The 16-year-old girl, right? And so I can see that she was hurt, but I'm like, baby girl, next one, they're going to say yes. Mm-hmm. And they didn't. Next one, they're going to say yes. And, okay, now let's go fill out the application, et cetera. And so it keeps getting easier. So all of life comes with rejection. Brother, you have to deal with rejection. So your fear of rejection means you're going to die alone, never having babies, which means you're never going to leave a legacy. You're never going to be a role model to anyone. So you're jacked, you're fit, you probably have the gift of gab. Go up and say, what's up, girl? Can I jump in on a set in the gym? And, or maybe don't say that. But the point is, just walk up to a girl and say, hey, I've noticed you in here, if it's a gym or wherever, a church or library or fucking wherever the hell you are. Like, I've noticed you in here. You're very attractive. If you're not taken, can I take you out for coffee sometime? And she's either going to say yes or no. 90% of the time she's going to be flattered, unless you look like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. And in which case I can't help you. But you know what? If she falls in love with you, then obviously it's not for your looks, it's for who you are. But it's that simple. Rejection is a part of life. Mm-hmm. It's a part of life. But go out there and just get rejected, bro. And then you'll be so good at it, like Chloe, you'll just walk in with, like, you own the fucking place. And before you know it, you're making a baby with this woman.
You see, the crazy thing is he's losing so much weight. Like, there's the confidence is just going to keep getting higher, man, because you see yourself in the mirror. And you're like, man, I've been working my ass off to make this happen. And so that's confidence there. And plus, on your hunchback comment, a lot of girls aren't even with dudes that are like looking like, Brad Pitt or these dudes that people like, they don't really care about that. Like, we need to get Lauren on the mic. We need a girl on the mic to explain what the vibe is. Cause you hear girls like, I don't care about what he looks like. If the vibe is there, I don't know what that means, but it's like an energy. I'm assuming.
I've also seen Lauren's boyfriend. He's a stud, athletic, handsome
for sure,
dude.
Yeah. Shout out to Mo for sure. But I'm just saying, like,
but Lauren, isn't it true that, the fact that they can make you laugh, make you feel safe, make you like their friendship over looks and abs and all that stuff, right? Yeah. Security is the biggest
Security
thing.
And the vibes.
Yeah,
the vibes, man.
Yeah. And this guy sounds like a total stud, bro. Listen, man, if I swung for the other team, I'd fucking date you. So go out there and do it.
All right. Rick Frazier.
Send me a dick pic. No, do not. No one. Leighton's in my DMs anyway. Yeah. No one send me a dick pic. Not even as a joke. No one send me a dick pic.
It's so crazy, man. When I see your DMs and there's like a blurry image, I'm like, I'm not even gonna open it. I'm not even gonna. Nah, man, y'all playing. Rick Frazier sends a super chat, says, "Thanks for all that you do. How do I stick to the habits that I want? How do I stick to the habits I want? I start with good intentions, but can never follow through."
Bro, don't be a bitch. Just stick to them. Like, fuck, man. If I took your mom or your dad, someone that you love, and held a gun to their head for the next 10 years, you would stick to every single fucking habit like a machine. So don't be a little bitch and just do your fucking thing. Period.
There it is. Abraham,
grown men shouldn't ask questions like that.
That's why I had to read.
Grown men, you should never fucking ask me bitch questions. Period. God damn.
Abraham.
My mom just died. Fucking take it easy on me.
I can't even get behind
the fucking
the keyboards. Get these questions out. Abraham Muniz says, what advice can you give me to get myself back mentally? I struggle with anxiety.
If you struggle with anxiety and depression, unless it's massively, massively, massively clinical, and I believe that's only 1% of society who deals with anxiety and depression that's clinical. If you're dealing with anxiety, that is your conscience telling you that you are not living congruently as the person that you are meant to be. So maybe you want to make more money, be leaner, be friendly, be funny, whatever it is, whoever you want to be, you're not being that person, and your conscience shows up as anxiety to move you towards action. So make a list of the things that you want to be and that you're not, and then start doing the things to become that human, and anxiety will go away.
Awesome. All right, guys. So these last two super chats I'm going to read. We're going to do these last two. And then afterwards, at the end of the show, we have a big announcement of a mastermind coming up, and B will explain more about that. But for now, Shad Stoltz sends a super chat, says, in the Legacy Tribe here in SoCal, I run a crew of 40 and I run a crew of 40 and am in a high school mountain bike. Sorry, I'm freaking tripping out right now. He's a high school mountain bike coach. I want to connect deeper and volunteer. I know I can give more back to the community and kids. I emailed Joan. How do I make this happen?
He emailed Joan and he wants to work with me and then volunteer? Like in what way?
Maybe I read that wrong. He says, I run a crew of 40 and am a high school mountain bike coach. I want to connect deeper and volunteer. I know I can give more back to the community and the kids. I emailed Joan. How do I make this happen?
Okay, so he probably wants to get involved in the stuff we're doing, like Squire, Project, just to help out with whatever we're doing. Rather than asking me, and this is actually really good advice, guys, rather than reaching out to the people that you look up to or you want to be surrounded by and saying, hey, what can I do for you? I want to volunteer and do something for you. Now you're putting something on my plate. Now I don't know what your talents are. I don't know what your skills are. Okay, you know how to ride a mountain bike. Okay, great. I don't have anything that involves a fucking mountain bike, Leighton. Goddamn. But if you're like, hey man, these are the 5 things that I can do. I can manage your social media. I could fucking talk to the people in your DMs, and if they're quality, I can tee them up to Leighton, and Leighton can close them. I could, like, come to me with what skills you have and say, this is what I can do for you. And then I'm going to say, great, reach out to Joan. So, brother, good news is you've reached out to Joan. We do nothing with mountain bikes. However, if there's something that you can tell Joan that you could do for the Squire program, maybe there's some kids that you can bring to the Squire program, which I'll let you do, put those kids through it. Maybe they don't have dads in their lives and you want to put those kids through it yourself. I'll even let them do it. You guys can do it for free. That's how you can volunteer and contribute. But I don't know what your thing is. So now if I have to try and figure out what you can do for me, you've just become another thing on my to-do list, and I don't want to handle you.
All right. Last super chat, PNG15 sends a chat, says, I'm 31. I struggle with complacency, people-pleasing, and comfort zone. No career path. I gained weight and want to get back in shape. I want to be a better version of myself, but can't get out of my own way.
Perfect. I got the answer for this. I don't know what episode number it is, but go back into the earlier episodes of the Bedros Keuilian Show and watch or listen to the episode entitled Get Jacked and Make Money. Get jacked and make money. That episode was specifically made for you, Mr. PNG15. And if you're like, yeah, but just tell me the answer here and now, it's because you seek out quick, lazy ways of getting the answer that you are fat, out of shape, complacent, and without purpose. So go and watch and listen to the episode entitled Get Jacked and Make a Lot of Money. Take the notes, and then execute, execute, execute.
That episode has helped so many people, man. So, yeah, definitely watch that episode for sure. A couple of times, actually, because it's just like you say when you read books, a good book. You read it once, it's great. Then you read it again the second time. It's like, okay, you saw something you didn't see the first time, then the third, then the fourth, and so it's going to keep getting better. But, yeah, study that episode down to a T. It's helped a lot of people.
That's the thing, man. You got to read books and listen to audio programs enough, or podcasts enough times where you could teach it. The moment you have digested something enough times where you could teach it is when you've developed a level of mastery that now you can go and execute on it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Otherwise, you're just like, oh, yeah, I'm a fan of that book. Well, what's it about? It's self-help and make a lot of money. You really don't know the details. Read it 5 times.
I need business coaching. I've always wanted to work with you. I don't have $100,000. I heard about something on December 9th. What is it?
Yeah, so we did this August 26th was the first time we did it. It was like a random Saturday that I had to open. I saw my calendar, and I saw it a month ahead of time, like in July. I'm like, Joan, I got August 26th open. I'm not speaking at an event. She's like, nope. I'm like, all right, well, Andrew's working. Chloe's like at a volleyball thing. So I pretty much going to be home all day, which means I'm going to get my workout in, and then I got nothing to do. And I don't like being idle. That's not me. I like serving people. I'm like, Joan, we're going to bring 20 people in. They're going to pay $5,000 a piece. I'm going to teach them how to grow their coaching business. I don't care if it's a nutrition coaching, mindset coaching, money coaching, real estate coaching, life coaching. If you have a coaching business and you want me to teach you how to build your personal brand, grow your social media following, convert your social media following into leads and prospects, and then convert some of those leads and prospects into high ticket sales, and then scale that business to 6 figures, then you're going to want to come on December 6th. We ran one on December 9th, you're right. We ran one on August 26th. It was awesome. 20 people paid $5,000 a piece, which gave me my $100,000 because I need to make $100,000 to show up anywhere because I'm bougie like that. I could say that too because, man, I've lived in Section 8 housing. I've lived in the back of a Toyota pickup. I've eaten the most government manufactured food you could think of. I've eaten out of dumpsters, had my hair washed with gasoline when I had lice as a kid. So like when people are like, hey, let's go camping, I'm like, fuck you, man. If it ain't a 5-star restaurant or a 5-star hotel, I'm not doing it. So I am bougie. And so I figured instead of charging you guys $100,000, because if you can't afford the $100,000, you pay $5,000 a person, 20 people, you come to headquarters right here. You not only get to see this awesome studio, but we spend 8 hours at the Learning Center in our building here, and I pour into you. I teach you how to build your coaching business and make, add another 6 figures to your bottom line. And that's taking place on December 9th. Mm-hmm. And all they have to do is go to Instagram, my Instagram account at Bedros Keuilian, slide into my DMs and say the word coaching, and Leighton will reach out to you. And don't ask for a website. We don't have a website. We don't have all that shit for it. It's just literally he's going to send you a link to pay the $5,000, and then Joan's going to send you the information to come out here, and maybe even beforehand or afterwards, we'll all go work out at BK Strength at my gym.
There you go. Okay, so that all sounds great, but $5,000, man, is it really worth it?
Yes, it's worth it. And, go look at the testimonials on my half-day coaching program. Just go to bedroskeuilian.com and you can see the testimonials from my domination year and my half-day coaching program from literally rocket scientists, doctors, New York Times bestselling authors like Lewis House, you name it, online, all types of online coaches, all types of people that have brick and mortar businesses. So is it worth it? Yes. Now, are you worthy of coming here? Because maybe you don't believe that you will execute on the information, in which case it is not worth it to you if you're lazy and you won't execute. In that case, don't pay me and stay away and leave room for someone else who will actually pay and then follow through.
I like that. The reason I asked that question was because I was on the phone with somebody earlier today talking to them about coming to December 9th, the mastermind.
Yeah.
And they asked me that question. I was like,
is it worth it?
Okay, no, it's not. If you're asking that question, it's probably not.
Yeah. You just hang. I wish iPhones and Androids still had like a dial tone. You know what I mean? Where you could like hang up
so
and
you could hear it,
and they hear like a boo. Right? Like I would just be doing that all day long with people. Yeah.
Right on. Well, that's everything, man. So this was a good live, good time.
All right, guys, thank you so much for watching and joining us on this YouTube live. All the monies that you guys gave for the super chats, I'm going to double, and we're going to donate to Shriners Children's Hospital. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. And of course, if you want to go back and watch this show again, you'll see it up on YouTube in the next hour or so. But until then, remember that average is the enemy, that success is your responsibility, and change can take place in an instant when you decide to flip the switch. We'll see you guys later.